Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, on Tuesday revealed that her 65th birthday fundraising initiative has generated over 20 billion naira towards the completion of the National Library project in Abuja, marking what she describes as her gift to the nation. Speaking at a special lunch with the State House correspondents, the First Lady defended her choice to mobilize funds for the library project instead of conventional birthday festivities, emphasizing her personal connection to education and libraries.
In this short while, money is still going. The one for today, have you converted it? Not yet, you see. And it's going to go again. So we have 20 billion, 456 million, 188,924 and 93 kobo. And it's still growing. Trust me, it is still growing. This is what we can do as a nation. But, you know, Mr. President said, I should take a newspaper advert to acknowledge all the people that did donate. But please, can we be seated? As an Ijebu girl, so press. You know, when I want to celebrate people, I would do that. But to me, I'm counting on all the money I could get.
As an Ijebu woman, she was able to raise all that money. Ijebu know they carry last, but I know she's also happy in Shekiri, right?
When you say Ijebu, looking at the
oh, sorry, are you Ijebu? Correct guy, Ruby on fire.
So you share heritage with the First Lady.
Well, all right. In the meantime, the First Lady's fundraising announcement comes amid criticism from opposition figures, particularly former presidential candidate Peter Obi, who questioned the correctness of relying on birthday donations to complete critical national infrastructure. And I'll read Peter Obi's tweet in part. He wrote on X, "What kind of country must beg for charity to build the very temple of knowledge? What kind of leaders waste trillions on luxury and vanity while the National Library, our intellectual furnace, remains abandoned in the capital? Serious nations treat libraries as sacred, but here we reduce them to afterthoughts, begging bowls or birthday tokens." Mrs. Tinubu was right. Education is the most enduring legacy a nation can give its people. Yet, to know this truth and still prioritize vanity is both shocking and tragic. If Nigeria will rise, it will not be on the wings of jets or the splendor of mansions, but on the strength of minds formed in classrooms and nourished in libraries. Until then, the lament remains true. We are finished. And that was the title of his post on X, We Are Finished. Well, meanwhile, the First Lady's 20 billion naira fundraising success has generated mixed reactions online, with supporters praising the First Lady's education focus, while critics question why citizens should fund what they consider basic government responsibilities through birthday donations. I'll take this post. Cassandra wrote on X, "It seems like billions in naira has become gari and beans in Nigeria. It's no longer what can Nigeria do for you under Nigeria's current leadership. It is now what can leadership collect from you." Or so it seems, and I'm sure that a lot of people will agree, because it seems like the First Lady was able to raise all that money. Meanwhile, Ayodele Ademilui, the convener of the Ife and Arts Festival, has filed a lawsuit against the First Lady for raising funds for the completion of the National Library headquarters in Abuja. Ademilui is asking the court to compel the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to investigate the bank account used for the donation, and for the First Lady and Zenith Bank to disclose the total amount raised and provide a full account of how the money was used. The lawsuit also seeks an order for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to relocate or to allocate at least 26% of the 2026 federal budget to education, which of course is a recommendation by UNESCO. Dr. Vati, over to you.
I beg, this video, take your time, listen. Oluremi don her birthday wishes. How many days? It don't recover over 20 billion. See, just read the video, just listen to the video, what she said. The reason why we are doing this video, because I did this video before. I read some comment and some DM like that. That was on Facebook anyways, but now because of what somebody said on this video, that's why I want you to listen to the end. Yeah, just take your time, listen to this video to the end. We'll come back and talk about it, but you leave your honest opinion. If this is right, wrong, she did very well. Does she deserve? She did very well or wrong? What do you think? In your own, at least in your own conscience, use your conscience to tell us, to make your comment. If this is right, this is wrong. That Oluremi asked Nigerians for a donation to build National Library. Not even to build, to complete National Library. Now she raised over 20 billion for this project. Now listen, we'll come back and talk about it. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You know I'll be your guy. Subscribe. Yeah, thank you.
First thing, in terms of principle, intention, involvement, we have consistently said Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, means well. She didn't want her birthday at 65 to be used for the purpose of vainglory. And it was in that regard that she called on people not to place adverts, not to send her gifts, but to contribute to the building of the National Library project. Why this is remarkable is that National Library project has been on the table since 2006. When the federal government first made allocations for that for the building of that library, they allocated 8.2 billion naira, which was a lot of money in 2006. Now, money has been budgeted for that same, National Library, to the extent that as recently as last year, we were told that National Library by the Federal Ministry of Education will be completed this year. So here comes Mrs. Tinubu. In just 5 days, she has been able to raise over 20 billion.
5 days.
Now, the gentleman who is asking for a probe, the people that need to be probed are the people who have been mismanaging that project since 2006. We want to know how much was budgeted over the years, what they did with the initial 8.2 million, and why Nigeria does not have a national library, which is something that you will find in other countries where there are serious-minded people in charge. You will be surprised that these same people over the years who have been in government, some of them have put money together to go and build their private universities. They've used money to acquire properties either in Florida or in other parts of America. But here, they cannot use government resources to provide a library. Number two is that the question should also be asked about the nature of our society. If Senator Oluremi Tinubu were not the first lady of Nigeria, would she be able to raise over 20 billion in 5 days?
How, Dr. Abati?
My own birthday is coming very soon. maybe we should test it.
Yes, let's test it. We'll make an announcement on what's trending.
I'll see whether I'll be able to raise 1 billion in 1 year. In other words, I'm saying that, there's...
No, don't worry, all 10 of us will donate for 1 year. That's like it.
I know the lady from Mkwata is very capable. But what I say is that, there's also the social dimension to all of this. Now to Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi was making the point about leadership. In fact, he's not the only one who made that point. Mr. Jide Ologun, this last Sunday, on This Day Live, made the same point. When we were congratulating the senator, he said, look, he thinks that it's shameful that it has to take the wife of the president to say that a national project should be completed through donations. And that this should be the responsibility of government, not just at the federal level. Once upon a time in this country, we used to have local government libraries. Yeah. When I was in Silver Spring, the library in that community was so good that you could go there to borrow books, to go and read. Here in Nigeria, nobody is reading books. Yeah. And that's why, the people who look down on Africans, they say if you don't want an African to know about something, just put it in a book. That culture has to change. If we want our children in the future to compete, we must cultivate the culture of literacy, of reading, of intellection. But as for Mrs. Tinubu's intentions, I think she's well intentioned.
All right, fantastic. Like I said, I did say this earlier, there's nothing wrong with using charity for education. I think it is, the most enduring legacy we can gift our children. So at this point, I'll say congratulations to Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the legendary First Lady of Nigeria. Well, let's head over to the United States now.
It's a title you give me.
Okay, I give you more.
Sharing
why can't I share it? I didn't know that you were jealous. I didn't know you were jealous.
Now you're sharing
you don't want to share. No, I think today, this
another name for so that they will do something. So let's go to the phenomenon.
The phenomenon. I thought I gave you that. I thought I gave you phenomenon. Okay. All right, let's just do it for today. The legendary First Lady of Nigeria. Well, let's head over to the tear gas at the National Assembly complex. They were not even, acting up. They were not. They were just there to welcome their lawmakers. Their constituents. What do you call them?
They're representatives.
No, they call them street urchins.
Well, all right. No. Well, immediately after resuming her office, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan launched a blistering attack on the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, accusing him of returning to the National Assembly like a dictatorship and threatening her as his personal servant. The Kogi Central lawmaker made the explosive remarks while addressing journalists in her office. She described her 6-month ordeal as a test of resilience against institutional injustice.
Everything, it just shows that sometimes it's good to put the institutions to test. We can't cow down in the face of injustice. No one is more Nigerian than us. Senator Akpabio is not more of a senator than I am. He's not a governor of this place. And he treated me as if I was his servant or I was a domestic staff in his house. It's very unfortunate that at this time, after so many years of democracy, we would have a National Assembly being run by such dictatorship. It's totally unacceptable. As for me, I'm glad to be here. And even though we have been illegally suspended, no day have I hesitated in effectively carrying out my duties as a senator of Kogi Central to the very best of my capacity.
And we have seen that Ayo, she has been doing her job. Well, the fiery comeback has already set social media ablaze, with many anticipating fresh political battles within the Senate as Natasha's return promises to reignite tensions over Akpabio's leadership style. I'll take a tweet. This person wrote on X. Another episode of the Senate reality show featuring Natasha versus Akpabio. Can we get back to real issues like minimum wage, ASO strikes, and insecurity? Natasha says she was treated like a servant, but millions of Nigerians are treated worse daily by a system she's part of. Maybe start fighting for them, not just for respect in the Senate. The Senate is turning into a personal battlefield. Nigerians are tired of watching elites fight for relevance while the country burns. Another ex-user wrote, I express my admiration and commendation for your courage in standing up for your beliefs. It is indeed unfortunate and unjust that we are faced with governance by authoritarian figures, which undermines the strength of our institutions, thus weak institution. I mean, I think I like that tweet. I'll come over to you. I believe that this story, has come again in the, front burner. And like, the other Twitter user alluded to, there's going to be another version of a Natasha versus Akpabio saga, because obviously she did accuse him of dictatorship and treating her like a servant. But I don't know what your thoughts are with, the fact that they tear-gassed her people, her constituents that were there, and the fact that, they unsealed her office without her knowledge.
So we found out about the unsealing of her office while we were on air. So we, in the newsroom, virtual newsroom, we saw pictures that the sergeant at arms and the clerk of the Senate had gone to make a show of unsealing her office. And from her interview, we then discovered that she wasn't even informed. I know it put us in that situation as to, okay, this unsealing, does it mean that the Senate is now willing to receive her? Does it mean they're setting aside the court case which they had cited as the reason why they could not admit her following the end of her 6-month suspension? A number of questions around this. And if we're going to build strong institutions, which we continuously advocate here on this table, we have to ensure that we get to the bottom of this. It's not enough for us to just wake up one morning and all is forgiven, kumbaya, let's move on. And well, that's important because like someone, the earlier ex-user had said that now it's just joke, we're making a joke of the Senate whereby serious issues ought to be debated on the floor of the Senate. However, I dare say that this is a serious issue because if you don't get it right, we'll continue to see matters like this emerge and we'll continue to have disgraceful actions on different parts and different ways from the Senate. So I think it's important to get to the bottom of this. However, I do believe that as Justice Binta Nyako had said, the people of Kogi Central deserve representation. And it is a shame that in the last 6 months, their voices were literally silenced because there was no voice for them in the Senate. And that's another thing that we need to look into and really open and see what could have gone wrong and how we can correct it for next time. We shouldn't have people in Nigeria whose voices are silenced. I'm talking about silencing voices. A group of people exercising their right to protest, peaceful protest, or they're not even protesting. They're just showing solidarity, support to Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, and they're tear-gassed. For what reason? We are too used to using these forceful actions to disperse citizens of Nigeria. Citizens who, despite all challenges, continue to exercise their right and show support because they wanted their voices heard, and then they were tear-gassed. For what reason? Did they behave in a disruptive manner? Were they disrupting any legislative proceedings, which, by the way, they are not there on recess? So I want to understand why tear gas was used on the people. Let's not get used to nonsense. Let's not get used to bad behavior. I think it's very important to state that. But then that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is there. I'm glad she said she continued to work for her constituents. Let us get work done. Yes. Let them come back from their long recess and actually begin to represent the interests of those who have put their trust in them by electing them to represent them in the Senate. That's what we want to see. But lastly, I want to say this. Beyond Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, the reason why this was very important was we're not just fighting for the person. As we often say, we are fighting for the institution or fighting for the position. It can be Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan today. It can be someone else tomorrow. And if we don't speak up, we will continue to see this kind of undemocratic actions, almost dictatorial in its nature, happen in the Senate. And that's not what we want. We are defending Nigeria's institution, not just an individual. All right.
Well said. Thank you for your submission. I guess what I'll say is it the saga continues? Is that what's going to happen?
I hope not.
I believe you all have, touched on it on the news headline. So we'll now take another story. The United States now, where President Donald Trump turned what could have been an awkward technical glitch into a moment of laughter at the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday when he opened his address by acknowledging that his teleprompter was malfunctioning. Let's take a look.
And I don't mind making the speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless, and that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
It's gone viral. I was begging, don't read from me. Well, unfortunately, he read from the heart.
Yeah.
Because, a UN official reportedly later said it was the White House's responsibility to operate the president's teleprompter. But the White House pushed back, with one of their officials stating that it was the UN's equipment. Well, the president's speech later went off script as Trump questioned the UN's ability to solve problems much bigger than a malfunctioning audiovisual equipment. He then launched into a wide-ranging attack on global policies, calling climate change a con job, and accusing the UN of funding an assault on Western countries through migration. He also criticized the UN's perceived ineffectiveness, stating its primary action was writing strongly worded but hollow letters. Strongly worded but hollow letters. Let's take a look.
It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail. Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the number one political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined.
Ruined. I mean, we also had that escalator issue at the UN where, the escalator had stopped when President Trump and his wife Melania arrived for that meeting. A lot of issues to discuss here. Rufai, the UN speech by President Donald Trump, like I said, he went off script and, he literally attacked the UN during that whole address.
Okay, so by the way, some quick things. I'll just segue from the Tinubu donation and everything, 20 billion. Dr. Bati, please allow Oji call you legendary. Maybe you'll be able to raise money like Madam Tinubu. So please just allow them call you legendary. Let him share with Madam Tinubu so that you'll be able to raise money for your birthday.
But he has to tell us what he's raising money for.
No, he will launch book. He will launch book. That's how we will launch book and we'll use it for good causes. So please, just let them call you legendary so you'll be able to raise money.
All right.
And there's no qualms with raising money for charity like it was rightly said. But for a project that is a government going concern, like Dr. Abad said, I think that's where the problem lies. And the fact that it's a joke on us, that despite the fact that we've raised money. I think in the budget line item, there's even a line item to buy petrol in the generators for the National Library. So it's a going concern of government. And this just shows about, disconnect of leadership and the likes and all of that. As regards Trump, Oji, I'm not surprised. We predicted his speech before he started.
Yes.
Look at the man talking as if he was even going to use the teleprompter anyway. He spoke from his mind. He said a lot of rubbish. He said a lot of lies. He said a lot of porcupines. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
He called climate change con job, which we all know climate change is not con job. It's affecting all of our life. Look at the increased rainfall.
That's what he's saying.
He's calling, he's saying foreign aliens, go against foreign aliens and migrants in your country. He was going against Brazil, saying Brazil is suffering. Brazil is not suffering. In fact, Brazil has created a buffer to be able to fight Trump tariffs. He's talking about immigrants. He himself is an immigrant. His wife is an immigrant. I and I was just talking off the air that most of the American billionaires that made America, the hands that built America, the likes of Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, and all of that during the Gilded Age, because America came of age during the Gilded Age. All the hands that built America, guess what, Oji? They were not originally Americans. They were all immigrants. In fact, any Caucasian you see in America is not originally Native American. The people that really originally own the land are the Lenape people. The Red Indians, like the European called them, or the Native American people, the Geronimos of this world. They're not original. So Caucasians were not originally instituted in America. They started coming there in the 1600s when the Dutch settlers came, when they set up New Amsterdam, what became New York, and you have the likes of what's it called, the Pilgrims, when they came and brought the ship to America. So Caucasians too came to meet some people on this same land they call America. So when they push their right-wing Christian nationalism thing, it doesn't surprise me. This morning I was reading Mein Kampf. The same narrative Hitler too was pushing then against the Jewish people is happening all over again. Then he told a lot of other lies and great things. But I think my consolation this morning, before you take the story, is my friend's daughter, Alhaji Bukar Abba's daughter, that gave a riveting poetry rendition there. And it's just a wonderful one, what she said about the cause of the world. And I'm so proud because Alhaji Bukar Abba is my very good friend.
Oh, he's your friend?
Yes.
To the Trump story. I already commented at length on the Trump story when Adefemi Akinsoya brought it up. Just to add that, elevator failed, teleprompter failed, and now the White House is saying, if this was intentional, heads must roll. Yes. The people must be investigated as that. Trump should count himself lucky. In some other countries, which were, I would politely refuse to name, there could have been a power blackout.
That's not off your mic.
There would have been power blackout.
Just one country.
No, I've not mentioned any country. But there could have been power blackout, and America would have been thoroughly embarrassed.
Yes. But you know, the UN Common House officials also are saying that it's not their fault. Do
you know why I'm laughing at the video? Because I did this video before on my Facebook. But what this person said, he said it is a disgrace. Because some people they think we just want to criticize government, we just want to do this. What is wrong is wrong. What is not good, it is not good. Even if you decided to say, okay, thank God, do at least at the end of the day, should they complete the project at the end of the day? Okay, fine. The most important thing is completing the project. That's what you will think of. But it is very wrong for First Lady of the country to demand Nigerians' contribution to her birthday to build national asset. That's what we are saying. It is wrong. It is wrong, very wrong. What do you think other countries will be laughing at us? Other countries will be laughing at us. And these people who contributed this money, they are not even happy. Not because they are happy. They donated this money, one reason or the other, for recognition, for one appointment or the other. If she was not a first lady, just like Dr. Abati said, if she was not a first lady, she does not have any connection, any businesses, any contract to give somebody. Some people will not have donated money. They'll say, I beg, go and sit down. That's bribery. Isn't it? Bribery. At the end of the day, this woman, maybe she knows some people. She knows through the names. They are going to go through the names of those people who donated, right? They are going to go through the names, and probably she knows some people inside. They will call them and say, let me reward this, let me reward this, let me reward that, the money or it goes to the same place again. And those people who contributed or who donated, they are not hungry. Some of them are not hungry. Even if some people want to try, say, let's see if this account is working. Let's see if Oluremi will recognize the person. Some people, would like to try something. They will go and deposit maybe 150 just to see if the account is working. It's still part of contribution. If not, why do you have this figure? She just read out Naira, Kobo. All those, okay, because of bank charges, right? But people donated a small 100. Do you understand? So it is wrong. It is wrong. Well, first of all, you condemn it before you say, well, at the end of the day, it is good. First of all, condemn it first. That it is not good. Not First Lady asking for this thing. This something that I've been budgeting for before this year. Last year, they say government officials, government told us that this project will be completed this year. We are not talking, let's leave the past government now. They are not in position again. They are not in power. We are not going to talk about that. EFCC will focus on those people if they truly want to fight corruption to recover the money. Those people since 2006 or how many years ago, people that have been collecting money, a contract to complete the project yet, is still, they're not being completed. Now, those people are not in power. They're not in government. Tinubu is in government now. Now, allocation has been given for this same project. People collected money. If they have not collected money, which somebody has come out publicly to make announcement that the project will be completed this year, yet nothing has been done. The project has not even started. They've not done anything beyond where it was before. It is the same reason why Oluremi will say, okay, this project is, let he use Nigerians' money again to complete it. Meanwhile, Tinubu cannot call out the person who collected money, who collected allocation to complete it. They cannot call out the person. EFCC cannot call out the person. And you say it is all right. Yeah, it is all right for you. For us, it is not all right. This is not just opposition criticizing. This is what they are reduced Nigeria. They are into. Do you understand? Which countries in the world would this thing happen? Maybe it will happen later. Not now. Maybe because Oluremi have done it. Now other countries will copy and do it. But before, I've not heard of it. That we now need very soon now. Very soon now, all the state governors will decided to do the same thing. State governor, local government, the money they've very soon they are going to do it now. They are going to do it because the money they collected before, a contract has been given. Now this is just another trend now that our politicians they will buy the ideas to do the same thing. Meanwhile, the real money they collected from government, they will pocket the money. They'll pocket the money. Watch out, not be this country with it. Watch out. Some governors and local government chairman, some senators will want to try their popularity. They will do it just to have opportunity to make money, steal money. This is a scam. No, I said it. Most importantly, EFCC, like the other one said. They say don't petition Oluremi for accountability. I want to say because for her to say 20 billion, he is very sure that the money is more than 20 billion already, and people are still donating. give it maybe before we conclude on this, maybe after 1 month now, because this period now, some people are still donating. For the fact that she read out the figure now, since yesterday till now, people are still donating. People still want to donate. They are busy. They never had the opportunity time to do transfer, right? They are still donating. Let's give it at least this month ending, or let's just give it since the day she announced it until 1 month after, before she will come back again, tell us how much the money, if maybe the money will be like 50 billion. Do you understand? Now, let's say 8-point-something billion were budgeted since 2006. I don't know how much it's going to cost now. Now, it's only one project in Abuja, she said. Maybe if the money is too much, after completing Abuja O, maybe she will build another one in another state, which it will make sense. It will make more sense. And again, like I said before, after completion, we're going to evaluate the project to see if it what depends on what she announced to us later, that this is the total amount of money, because she said now people are still donating. That means this is not the round figure. So later, when people stops giving, then she will come and read it again, so that the whole world will know how much contributed for that project. So after building, Nigeria will do assessment of the building. We evaluate the cost to know if it what the amount Nigeria contributed, so that we know where the problem is. Do you understand? This is nonsense. Anyways, we not depend on this thing, contributions. Who is doing birthday now? Local government, state government will start doing the same thing. They want to see now, use the money. Anyways, what do you think? Please share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy now. Run for me.